Hello.
How's it going today?
Oh, it's going all right. Just very busy week coming.
Hmm.
For like good reasons, but still,
Nice.
yeah. It's like today. Well, I have D&D 3 times this week. Uh, and I have a bunch of extra work to do because next weekend I'm going to Hawaii,
Hmm.
which is lovely. But it also means there's just everything else jam-packed into the
Yeah.
next couple days.
I know that feels the second week of June. Yeah, second week of June. I have to go week.
Mm.
Definitely a state I never thought I would go to.
Uh, what's in Delaware?
Vega's wedding.
Ah,
Oh. Technically, I'd only need to be there for a couple days, but I figured I'd turn it into a vacation and
yeah, I
spend as
mean,
much of it outside of Delaware as possible.
I was gonna say, I figure there's gonna be a lot of fun, interesting things to do in various places near Delaware.
Yeah. Fun fact, there's no major airports in Delaware.
What?
So
I
I have
didn't
to
know you could have
fly.
a U.S. state with no major airports.
Yeah. So I have to fly into Baltimore, rent a car, and then drive Delaware.
Excellent.
Is
Um,
fascinating.
Easy with that. It's not a toy.
you know, Delaware's been around long enough. You'd think they would have figured this shit out.
Yeah, like when I was trying to plan my flights, they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't have any flights connecting from you know, Fargo to Delaware."
Well, that makes sense, right? Like, I would think that there would be no, like, I mean, it's hard to get direct flights from Fargo to just about anywhere, but no connecting flights is
Yeah,
wild.
like nothing. It's like my flight to Baltimore is a connecting flight. Like I fly down to the
Locked in
States
for 3-5.
and then
Right.
connect over to Baltimore. Even with that, nothing taking me Delaware.
Oofda.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, any kind of vacation is, I mean, it's still a vacation, right? Like, even if it
Yeah.
is to Delaware.
Oh. I understand.
Plus, you get to see Vega again, which I know you've just been dying to do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's lovely that he's getting married. I'm very happy for him.
Yeah. Like I'm looking forward.
Yeah, totally.
Get out, go see the ocean, get dressed up. That, and I'm treating myself. I'm flying first class
Ooh.
for it. I had some money to spare, so I was like, I've never flown first class. I'm gonna treat myself.
That's fun.
Yeah. Like, especially since after I connect. Hey,
Now,
Stan.
can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Could you hear me before and nobody was
No.
saying anything?
Nope.
Okay. That was weird. Alright.
Fresh setups are always weird.
Yeah, especially since I'm still not, like, fully set up, but, you know, making do with what I can, because... And I'm sorry that I have to cut and run early. I just...
Who celebrates birthday stuff at 1:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday?
Well, it's 2 o'clock at the afternoon on Sunday, and that's, it's kind of like an all-day sort of thing. But, they were going to have it yesterday, but I was in Bismarck yesterday for, like, the whole day.
You.
Tabletop simulator. Yeah, so right now I'm sitting, like, underneath my television because I don't have any of my wireless stuff found yet.
Sounds fun.
EHTATAI. Why is it not here? I swear to God, my library goes from System Shock to Tainted Grail.
Fascinating.
This is the way.
Yeah, I always just click on it from the event games.
Nothing is in my recent games list. It's been 3 weeks since I had my computer on.
I mean, I don't think it's on it. I think it's like, hey, here's like the last 6 games you've.
Yeah.
See, this is weird, because my audio is coming out through my television, but my microphone is coming in through my headset.
Might
I
need
don't
to
know
adjust
how
your
I split
Discord
that.
settings.
Well, but now Tabletop Simulator is coming in through my headset.
Yeah, sounds like a Discord thing. Adjust your output, your voice and video. Because when I got my wireless headphones, they were giving me that same problem.
You're, in the wrong chair, Moose.
Yeah, that happens. I don't know why it keeps wanting to just auto put me in white seat.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if we were meeting because I never saw Amanda respond.
For the most part, at least, we can still get, half a session, and I don't have any combat planned, so if need be, we can run.
That means we can get a full session in.
I feel like the not. I don't know. This campaign, it's like I feel like we like sometimes it's like, okay, this is a heavy slog combat session, but then like I feel like we're more efficient in combat on average than we are in our RP.
I'd actually say that's pretty fair.
I mean, we've had some big epic combats, but like I feel like we get lost in the sauce more with our RP than we do with our our combats this campaign.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of professionals here, ready to kick some names and take some ass.
Exactly.
But fucking give us a guided tour through a magical aqueduct. Fucking buckle up.
This isn't 20 questions. There's a lot more questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell us about the lore? The lore?
Yeah.
The lore.
Or just the good old someone says something even remotely character vulnerable, entire hour devoted to everyone unloading their backstories.
I don't know what you're talking about.
My characters don't trauma dump, not ever.
It's so funny that you had switched out your character at that point. So that like all of that was happening, like I think session 1 of your new character, just kind of like standing there listening to everyone vent about their pasts.
I was like, wow, you guys are really open.
Just great, because I think you even gave like us all a jump scare where we kind of forgot you were there. Jesus, you've been there the whole time.
So
All
yeah,
right.
sorry about, everything for the last couple of sessions, but it's been fucking crazy, and I have a house now, and I mostly have a game room. Mostly.
It happens.
seen
On that
pictures.
topic, who wants
looks
to
semi-real.
start off recap? Get Stan up to speed.
Well, we made it to our in destination, which we have determined is a magic door to the same spot. Good old fancy barkeep, just real delightful fellow. We managed to convince our captive to take us back to her ship, and parlay with our good friend Dagger Lady, who has not shot or stabbed us. Definitely never happened. And then convinced her maybe we could help out.
Okay, so the last thing that I recall actively happening was we were at the church.
So immediately after that, the end of that session was the gifts that we got from
I remember the gifts,
Piranesi.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically we ended that session basically right after that. We had like a big discussion of what to do next, where we learned from Piranesi, or we learned from Amanda's elf spirit thing, Modelis, about a entity of some kind in the depths of the ring underneath the city that we could talk to potentially vet
The pirate lady as
vet the Skarnir. Yeah. So then so we learned about that, planned to try to maybe go down there. Piranesi also gave us our membership cards to his fancy inn that we'd ate at a couple cities ago. We went there and discovered, because you weren't here last time, right?
No, it was not.
Yeah, so like what I just said was basically we went there, there's a secret knock, and we discovered that it looked suspiciously like the last one that we ate at. Like
all the
even
way
the
down
barkeep.
to the bugbear barkeep.
But like we all kind of had a moment of like, well, maybe it's just like a fucking Chili's, that's just got a very similar decor, and we didn't want to be racist and be like, yeah, that bugbear looks like the last bugbear. And we kind of tested the waters with some questions and did discover that yes, in fact, the inn is a magic door sort of situation where it's just the one, but you can get to it from specific locations.
Okay.
if you're a member. So we are now members of the what was the name of the place? I don't
The
recall.
Wayfarer Inn.
The Wayfarer Inn. Yeah, and then we discussed. You recall that we took a captive at the end of the fight from last time.
Mm-hmm.
So we snuck back into the church, and then basically walked out of there with her. Took her to the inn, interrogated her, asked her some questions.
And that's knife
It was
lady.
a pretty polite. It was a pretty
Yeah, I
polite
guess, yeah.
interrogation. I think it was really
yeah.
more of a conversation.
Yeah, it wasn't really an
Yeah.
interrogation. We got the information we wanted from her about like what was going on with the Skarnir and all that stuff. Now that we'd been kind of read in on the situation,
Okay.
and basically asked if she would take us to Savannah, which she did. We climbed up through the mountains, met up with her and her crew up in there where they hid their ship, and then took the two of them down with us into the Undercroft or whatever the fuck it's called. I just keep calling it the Undercroft. I don't think that's the right name. It's just like on description of it, my Dark Souls brain activated and named it for me.
We returned to Piranesi specifically for his connection
Oh yeah.
to the church and the higher ups and politics in the city, and he was able to get us in, and then we basically took an elevator down.
I can't remember. Did Piranesi come with us?
Yep, Piranesi is down there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
At which point we met up with two artificial life forms.
Be right back.
One, which was a hologram, and the other of which was a cantankerous RC car. Yeah. Basically an astromech droid with a bad temper, and a very helpful hologram/AI entity that interviewed the elf captain whose name continues to escape me.
Solana.
Shavana. Who and this entity was not able to ascertain if she was or was not the Skarnir, so it's still kind of up in the air. Yeah. That's all I remember.
Solana's story had been told before. So she was sorry, I was trying to review some other stuff here. So she was they didn't take her story. They were like, we've heard it before.
Yeah, it just meant that she could have possibly heard it somewhere else, so that it didn't function as proof.
Yeah, it wasn't definitive proof.
Yeah.
And now it's Igneous's turn to tell a story.
It's
God.
anybody who wants to's turn.
That's right.
But
even Elgavar could have a turn telling a Skarnir story.
But I know I'm not Skarnir. I'm Elgavar.
we will cut real quick.
Yeah, but the man behind Elgavar should definitely tell a Skarnir story just for fun, because I want to see what DM here does.
And Stan DM'd for the OG. But first things first, Elgavar, you are surrounded by technology right now, very advanced looking technology, and there is a man made of glimmering blue light talking with you.
I'm just like composed of glimmering blue light, or
Yes.
okay.
Like If you look closely, you can see his form is made out of individual, like, flecks of light.
Okay. I'm looking for the, I'm not looking at him. I'm looking around the room for where the light is coming from.
In the center of the room, there's a little pedestal, and you can see light coming from below and from above. And where they meet, they're able to form images.
Yeah, how'd you get the beam so small?
Very advanced technology.
Yes, but how?
I don't suppose anybody here speaks
So,
droid.
there's advanced focusing beams. Same technology, sort of behind the big beam sword that you guys are all on about. It's all a matter of focusing, but
Right. Well, I've been looking through. I know at least a couple of rumors of Skarnir. There was. They say that he was a master of diplomacy.
a master of diplomacy.
Yes. Went all the way to the plane of fire to talk some sense into the Ifrits of the plane of fire in the city of Brass. Caused quite a ruckus, a mosh pit, one might say, of diplomacy.
A mosh pit of diplomacy. Ah, yes.
Is that the name of your autobiography?
Yep.
That is quite the tale.
Was obviously it was Skarnir that struck first. With a solid punch to the right, with a solid right hook to the jaw of an Ifrit twice his size. And of course, after everyone dogpiled him, he came out on top. But when everything was said and done, the Ifrits would listen to Skarnir and assist in his conquest of a dragon god.
Ah. Been a while since I've heard that story. Unfortunately, I have in fact heard that story.
Yes, well, as I said, I am not the Skarnir myself, but I know of these tales.
That one doesn't get told as much on this realm. But thank you for reminding me of the mosh pit of diplomacy.
Guy's new band name.
Now, I believe the dwarf also wanted to have a turn.
Well, if you insist, I could indeed.
Well, with
I
how
believe
eager
I can
you
tell
were
you
when
this.
you heard it was a possibility, I would be a little remiss if I were to deny you the opportunity.
It would be a shame to deny these people such a valiant warrior. I am just saying, I will try. I have flashes of memories. One in particular that stands out is an ambush at an inn. We had horses. We were stabling them, and the rest of my companions were in the inn. I happened to hear a noise outside. I ran outside, and there was an enormous black dragon. I pulled my sword, a dragon-slaying weapon, off my back, and I fought the beast in single combat. I nearly had it. And then it flew away like a coward. It was a giant coward. It took my sword in the process. My faithful cat companion. Not to say I had a cat. He was a cat man.
And what did Catman do?
Nope. Get out.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
What what Catman do? Catman. Now this man was a master with the bow. He took aim, and he fired a faithful arrow at that dragon. He brought it down with that last shot. I did not hold it against him that he took my kill, because the coward was running. We went and retrieved my sword from the body. We had a run-in with some elves at the site of the body, actually, and that led to a whole nother thing with some more dragons. I won't bore you with the story of those elves and the next dragon, and then the next dragon, and there was some more dragons, and then eventually there was a maze, which is where I met my downfall.
I just realized there's a not impossible chance that we could find the stuff that was in that bag of holding in this campaign.
Oh my god!
You guys are in the Astral Sea.
And there was a tragedy that befell me. We charged through a village on the back of a gigantic lizard. We fought our way through a ridiculous magical. I hate magic so much.
Pandering.
There was a mage's. There was hedges and all this ridiculous, a sundial, and at the end of the line there, I met my untimely death.
Feels like we're
I'm not
giving a
sure what-
eulogy to our DM. Remember all that cool shit he did across the years of campaign?
You're dead.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop you there. You're not wrong. You're just not quite telling the stories correctly. You've got some details off here and there. Like during the inn, he didn't run out.
I fought that dragon. That was single-handed combat, I tell you.
He was already
Fought it.
sleeping in the stables because he refused to pay the exorbitant price for the inn. And the reason
I
the
don't even
dragon
recall
ran
that.
away was because Skarnir got knocked the fuck out.
I like my version better.
Now, if I were going to guess, I would say you're actually a reincarnation of the cat.
Beautiful.
Sadly, I do not possess the oath bow in which to give you.
I'll have to look in a different swamp.
But thank you for your time.
And that was the story of how I got 2 different DMs and 2 different campaigns to give me the same oath bow.
And that, kids, is the story of how I found my oath bow.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Now, would anybody else either A, like to have a turn, or B, have any other questions for me? I don't get visitors very often, so I'm not in a hurry to get you out of here.
I have a question for Stan.
Yeah.
How's the Legend of Zelda Pro Skater 2 been for you?
You know, I don't play it like Pro Skater 2, but I have been
Did you see the Joe Cat post about that?
yeah.
It was I just laughed when I saw that.
I have been loving that game. I play Zelda at my own pace, which is to say slow, and I explore the fuck out of everything.
Anyway.
And I run in 100 different directions. Anyway.
Cool. I didn't want to derail too hard. I just wanted to. I haven't talked to you much lately, so.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well, I mean, are we all in the room at this point, or are we all? Some of
Yeah.
us still like out.
Y'all have trickled back in.
If you have all the Skarnir memories, how do we know you're not the Skarnir?
Because I am not alive.
Isn't the Skarnir not alive sometimes?
The mantle isn't alive. The people the mantle goes to are alive. That said,
So if you're here and you're the mantle, then
I'm not the
can the
mantle.
Scar...
I am complicated, but I'm not the
Clearly.
mantle. Trust me, if every Skarnir had to deal with me talking in their head, they would go insane very quickly.
It sounds like that is already the case.
Oh,
I don't know. You sound
Diplomacy and
like a pretty
dragons
helpful little
barehanded.
friend.
I will have you know, I am not little. I am, in theory, the size of this entire Ringworld.
But in reality, you are a beam of light.
In reality, I am a series of electrical impulses inside the wall. I merely project myself here so you have something to look at that isn't a camera mounted along the wall.
Well, it seems like
project
most of
on
the reason we came down here sort of fell flat. But any update on the analysis?
Yes, actually. The puzzle that you have brought down is it was created by the same people that made the ring. At least the technology was. This specific puzzle is a recreation, which is pretty fascinating that somebody was able to recreate that manner of building. That said, I would ask you to pick it up, fiddle around with it. You'll probably be able to unlock the next step.
I very like pomp and circumstance go and pick it up, and then immediately turn and hand it to Sid.
I start rotating it and moving through the steps that I know how to unlock it.
Now, you're after a previous analysis, you learned that you need to be, very low on the ring and then, very up near the star. You, right now, are very low. You are as close to the back side of the ring as you can be, and the pieces are beginning to shift again. You managed to get the dials to move around, and you hear some satisfying clicks of pieces beginning to slide into place.
I just marvel at it, and then I hand it back to
Marston.
Nick. I'm Marston. Thank you.
What's it look like the next piece is gonna be?
We've got the light and we've got the sun.
So your next step is you need to the next step is you need to get as close to the sun as possible. That said, most modern ship technology isn't quite able to get right there. You'll be a little south of where you need to be.
How close are we talking?
How's your heat resistance?
So you're saying we had a dead end then?
For now. But look at it like story of your journey. You started off, not really knowing all that much, but as you progressed, you started to make some progress, things started to slide into place. Right now, you're at a crossroad where you're not quite sure how to progress. You know what needs to be done, but not quite how to get there.
Well, you said that modern ship technology cannot get there.
Yes.
Perhaps
a lot of the
what we need is very old technology. when the new does not suffice. Return to the old ways.
Definite possibility. But I will say, you have made great progress on it. You're a step away, and as soon as you figure that out, prize will be all yours.
Do you already know what this box contains?
He waves his hands a bit and goes, maybe, perhaps I do, perhaps I don't. Telling would be a little underwhelming for you, I feel. Like skipping to the last page of a book.
Is the star here, the one that we need to get close to, is that also mechanical?
You just see the hologram grin. I like you.
I have no feelings about you one way or the other. I'm fascinated. Let's say that.
He shrugs. Nothing wrong with that. But I suppose, how much do you want to know?
I wanna know. Please show me.
We lose Alex?
Hang on. Just a
I'm
second.
just dropping out because of my current setup. Having Tabletop Simulator open is taxing on the stream for no reason at all. So,
Wild.
yeah, if we do combat, I'll bring it back up. But until then, it's just
Unless
making me
you
drop a
guys
shit
pick
out
a
of frames.
fight with the droid, you'd be fine.
yeah, it's just making me drop a lot of frames. So
Dude, this
Just to
guy
make sure I
looked at
don't
me
drop
funny.
out.
Fuck him up.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't drop out of the call. So
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, that was it. I just want to.
There's a lot that goes into both the ring and the star.
That was in my box.
And there's a lot to bribe.
I was just wondering if it actually has to be the light from that device, or if it has to be a light from a similarly created device.
Clever method of thinking.
That is not an answer.
I can be annoyingly cryptic.
Yes.
It's hard to say. Part of the reason why I can be annoyingly cryptic is because I would like to seem like I do, in fact, have all the or all the answers. But sometimes I just don't. It could work. It could not. I've never tried it. I've never seen somebody try it. Best I can do is hypothesize.
Very well then.
Now, I will say, do you have something in mind that could produce similar light?
Well, I tend to radiate myself. A very small amount.
Now I see where you're getting at.
It's a natural ability, but I don't think my potential, the amount of energy that I radiate is not nearly enough to power it. I've tried that already. Don't tell the captain. That
Lucky
being
for you,
said,
he and I don't exactly correspond.
well, I was mostly towards Marston and everybody. Like, don't tell
Oh.
the captain. I might have fucked up his underhold at one point in time, but that's, you know.
We don't need to know about your personal life.
So But if the star can be replicated on a much smaller, much more contained level, then we would need to wait for ship technology to become more advanced.
I'm
So
just
no,
telling you, this is where Doc Ock started. This is a dangerous road.
Doc Ock.
The Doctopus.
The talk.
Yes, he was a very intelligent Kraken. Miss him dearly.
I'm very worried that you miss a Kraken.
He was very
Did he
intelligent.
take a crack in it becoming the Skarnir?
Ooh.
It very well could, but as you said, the power's potentially not there yet. That said, were you to grow stronger in your abilities, cough, say, around level 12, cough, you might be able to.
Are you guys okay? Sorry about that.
Were they okay?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Curious if that was actually in character.
were you able to create something? One, I'd be kind of terrified, but two, it'd be interesting to see if it worked.
Power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
So yes, keep that puzzle box on hand. What's inside?
Sounded like I might have to be passing it down to my descendants anyway, so suppose it's not going anywhere.
He shrugs. Maybe, maybe not. Who's to say where your journey will take you? But back to official business before y'all take off. Mr. DeLuca, this is me officially stating that none of the stories I have heard here were conclusive for the Skarnir test. Should anybody ask, you can pass that down as official.
I think it should also be stated that you did know that Sylvana could still potentially be the Scania.
Yes, inconclusive. Nobody is outright not Skarnir.
I'm not.
Although I do maintain the dwarf is probably a cat, not the Skarnir.
That dwarf is a cat!
But that's just postulation. So,
I haven't coughed up any hairballs yet, so I don't know about that.
it's because you don't lick your own hair.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, that you know of.
Just saying, hairballs don't just
So
come out
I'd
of
be
the
very
ether.
concerned if that is how you clean your beard, Master Dwarf.
Some tribes of the valley have weird ways, that's all I'm saying.
Don't I know it? So, unless there's anything else, I can have my attendant show you out.
The garbage can?
Oh, don't let him hear you say that.
I actually do have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Stephen, if you'll recall, the face of Kinbrin Kadani is not their technical face.
Yeah, changelings
as a
being what they are.
changeling. Yes. Kinbrin's current face is the face of their now deceased mentor. And that's sort of the lead up to this, if you recall that, just a bit of information.
I appreciate the recap.
Yes. I'm pretty sure it was in my backstory, which you read months and months and months and months ago.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, my question, or Kimbrin's question really, is... the face that I now wear, and the voice that I use. Is this one you have seen before? Did you ever meet with the man whose guise I now bear?
The hologram flickers for a moment. I have, yes.
When did you know him?
Oh, let's see. Would have been several cycles ago. Years. Pardon. Would have... I want to say it was a few decades. Apologize if you were looking for something more recent.
No. When he passed, there were many questions about if he was the man we knew him to be. And I had many questions if I was simply following the teachings of a liar, of a ghost, or of a true believer.
Well, speaking as a ghost of sorts, there's nothing wrong with following. And so long as teaching makes sense to you, what's the harm in following them?
When you knew him, when he came here, was he looking for something?
He was on a journey. He came to me, seeing if I had information that I could offer. I gave him what I could. On his way.
What was he looking for?
Looking for... well... a bit of a ghost. He was looking for something that likely existed, or at least wasn't alive. Whatever it might have been, but I gave him the best lead I could. It was a relic from a long, approximately around the same age I am.
What was it called? What name did he use?
If there's a specific in the story, I apologize, I've forgotten.
No, Stephen, I'm fishing at this point.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, the whole of the backstory was that, Mentor vanished on what was supposed to be a pilgrimage, but did so under mysterious circumstances. And that's why Kimbrin is on their pilgrimage now.
The
But there were
name
questions of loyalty and such like that when he passed.
is, I'm going to say, irrelevant. It's fairly nondescript, but I did know the location. If you would like, I can give you the same lead, but I will warn you that it is not great.
Whatever it was a place or thing that killed him.
Uh,
I do not go with curiosity.
well, in that case, the directions I gave him led him to around the point where he would eventually go missing, which was the mountain range Bill Ross near. The first range out in the Camport expanse. It's said that it's Warren's tunnels can still be heard crawling dark energies, evil forces that it had previously transported across the stars before being destroyed and crashing into our ring. And he sought, in all likelihood, inside.
Thank you.
Of course.
It is good to know what of the stories of him were true, and what falsehoods might be spoken to tarnish his name.
He was a believer through and through, so much to the point where he went to one of the most weird locations on this Ringworld.
He had no fear of curses.
Oh, there are worse things in that mountain range than curses.
He always said that darkness was simply emptiness.
I don't know, curses can make people pretty ugly. Sorry.
Oh no,
Oh, you're
it's
fine.
completely true.
Yeah, that's all I had to ask.
All right. Anything from the rest of you? Mr. Sidwell, I believe there's at least one more question would be asking.
I'm sorry. I'm so out of it. I don't know what you're insinuating at.
Crew members.
Oh. So, can you locate individuals foreign to the ring?
Well, I located you.
Yes, could you locate others like me, though not necessarily my biology?
Yes. Such as your, associate Hammond Ezekiel IV Jr.
Yes, Ham. I believe there are, well, if I'm lucky, you know, approximately 24 others.
Yes. You
It'd be nice
are...
to know how many there are.
Unfortunately, some of them have kept hidden, going to ground in unknown territory,
Well, they
like the
should.
survivalists are. And a few more unfortunately lost their life in the accident that brought you here. But I
You guys
can
just watch
confirm,
me like turn bright red with shame.
unfortunately, that said, I can confirm that there are going to be at least, not counting Ham, about 9 more that you would be able to find, without any particular degree of difficulty. Some of the survivalists out there might still be alive, and if you stumble upon them, bully. He waves his hands in fake exaggeration.
I doubt any of them are actual bullies.
As for specific locations, there's only so much I can do for that. I don't keep tabs on every person on the ring. That'd be creepy. I just check in every once in a while.
Very well then.
On this specific continent, Osifix, there's a few more, and last I had checked, there was at least one in the city that we are beneath Ember Shard.
Interesting. Wonder what reach the newspaper gets.
There's a few in the capital. Some are better than others. There is one, it's absolute hogwash, but it's so funny to read.
I'm thinking about putting out a wanted ad for a missing ring that, you know, has an onyx gem with an appetite flaw. Because everybody in my team carries one of those gems.
Worth a shot. Either way, I wish you luck. Being separated from comrades can be painful.
Being closer to them sometimes doesn't help, though.
That is very true. On that, from the hallway, you hear the loud grinding noise of a mechanical tin can that had greeted you all the first time. And sometimes you kind of just wish you were separated. Ugh. But y'all want an astromech? Don't answer that, you don't want him.
I wouldn't mind dismantling him.
I wouldn't mind that either. No, that's a lie. He's been around for this long. Be kind of lonely without the sheer constant annoyance.
Suit yourself.
Check back later. My mind might change. Anyway. If there's nothing else, I wish you well, and we'll see you on your way.
Thank you for your time and your knowledge.
He bows. They've traveled, each and every one of you. The floor that had pulsing lights to guide you here, the lights change direction and start leading you back towards the lift.
Well, that was unique.
Oh yes, it's a marvelous experience, isn't it? Irenaeus says from behind as he falls in with you.
Thought you didn't believe me when I said I was from a different world.
Oh no, I just said it was very curious. On a place like Elysia, when you go back far enough, we're all from different worlds.
What world are you from?
He, looks like he's chewing on something and weighs his hands. This one?
Of course.
He, smiles a, cocky smile and keeps moving. Solana and her, first mate are, little dour right now as they are walking near the back of the group. Looks like we lost Alex.
Yeah, he's been kind of dropping pretty regularly.
I loot his corpse.
Nope.
Busy with that. It's not a toy.
You loot Alex's corpse?
Yep.
Column A, column B.
Only makes sense. I mean, that was a pretty gnarly trap that he just stumbled into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
Oh,
wasn't expecting
the
an
worst
Indiana
kind of trap.
Jones boulder, but wow.
Yeah, and it was like very specifically just in that one spot, and just went straight down, crashed through the floor.
Yeah, like dwarf shaped and everything.
So just yeah, I guess we probably can't even recover his body.
Wild.
Bang.
Biggity bang.
Locked in, 55.
Yeah.
Well,
you got it. Yeah, y'all get back to the lift. Filing inside, it rapidly rises back up to the surface, and you are let out back into the...
Stop touching things.
We will part ways here. Lana speaks up. I appreciate trust you all showed me.
yeah, well, maybe next time you're flying by, you might not try to blow our ship out of the air.
It ends on my orders.
Not exactly a great answer.
I agree.
Yeah, sounds like you might have some shit orders you're coming from then.
It is the age in which we find ourselves.
Yeah, well, sounds like you might want to be changing that as much as anybody.
It would be unbecoming of a Skarnir to fire upon friends. And I'll go to shake her hand.
He returns the shake. Safe travels. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. I hope our paths don't cross again.
Hey, spit that out.
They turn and disappear into the crowd.
That's why I'm a smuggler and not a politician. I mean entrepreneur.
Piranesi's like, me too.
Doctor, not a scientist.
Dang it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not... Well, I mean, I am a doctor, but not that kind of doctor.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was a reward for getting involved in all this political nonsense. Fat lot of nothing.
Welcome to politics.
I'd like to go back to lifting boxes now.
Well, at a minimum, we did complete our task of delivering the goods to the church, so I suppose we can head our way back to the ship and at least accept that final payday.
Indeed.
Yes.
And, look at it this way, 2-week vacation. Or longer if you don't sign back up again.
True, true.
This is the way.
And, about the Wayfarer Inn. Are there
Yes.
specific doors, or just any door with the right knock?
Specific doors. The back of the card, it has an image. If you notice that image next to a door, that's a door that works.
Is there any sort of rhyme or reason about where they place these doors?
Usually, it's going to be near a major roadway, but off ever so slightly. So, you can get there, following the crowd, but then split off a bit. Specifics, some places it's a bit more hidden than others. Some it'll be right out in the open, but it'll be a conspicuously unadorned door amid a row of everything else having sign.
Do they have... should we
It's good
expect...
they made it easy.
If
we expect
everybody
to
could
find-
find it, it wouldn't be as exclusive.
Do we expect to find these in every city we visit, or just the sort of major trade?
Major cities.
Alright.
It is, from what I've gathered, the enchantments needed for the doors are a little taxing. So, any small town would be a bit much, but major cities, there's one at least on every continent, and some of the more developed continents will even have multiples, such as Ysleron. The main continent has, I want to say, 5 wayfarers. Osifix, this one, has 3. Ulis has 2. Alcria, the Elven Nation, had 1, but I think that door is non-serviceable right now. And Croania has 2.
Thanks for the info, Penhazy.
I believe if you ask, they'll have a, sort of like an amusement park map that they can give you with, general directions on where to look for the doors and which cities will have them. So I'd recommend checking that out.
Alright, look into it.
Of course. Now, worth noting, when you stayed with me, you got the nice, hey, I'm with him, though I had covered the expenses and at a discount, you're welcome. And this last night, you stayed for free because you were members. But going forward, there will be more expenses involved. That said, it's usually pretty cheap and good quality. Inexpensive, not cheap. That was a misspoke on my part.
Still, exclusivity is always something you can charge extra for.
Yes, and if need be, it's a great place to hide out. Not that I would know.
Yes, if you used it for hiding out, we wouldn't have to rescue you so many times.
Got him.
That's who Sid is. He takes the cheap shot.
He just laughs and gives a half grin, half grimace.
A grinnis, if you will.
Yes. So, have a happy stay in Embershard. Feel free to stop by the shop. Remember, grand opening of the shop is in 2 days. Stop on by. In the meantime, happy trails. Piranesi
God,
turns and begins to walk back towards his shop.
God, I can't believe we let him get away again. The end boss is right there in our hands.
Capitalism?
Future
Yes.
generations will tell tales of how we could have slain him when we had the chance.
Yep, saved
Instead,
millions of lives. But you
he
didn't.
destroyed the world.
I believe Aang can save the world.
I believe in the love. That's the heart. So yeah. What are y'all up to?
Getting our payday from Captain.
All
Seems
right.
most
Playing
pertinent.
D&D.
Oh, playing
this
D&D
guy.
in D&D.
Got the
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah, we're all gonna go back to the Wayfarer and play Houses and Humans.
I was gonna say, play H&H, Humans and House Chores or something.
Yeah. You guys make your way back out of town, following the roadway up towards the airship port on the cliffs, and get back to the Endurance. It is almost uncomfortably quiet compared to how busy the ship usually was, even when in port. Pretty much all the sailors are disembarked. None of the courier teams are around anymore. And for the most part, it's just the central crew. You're welcome back. Welcome back by the quartermaster, who waves you up on board and congratulates you on completing the delivery.
Yeah, it was a doozy.
Run into any trouble?
Certainly. Always.
That sounds about right for you lot. That's why we trusted you with it.
Guess it worked out in the end.
Follow me. We'll get you set up with the last payment. He leads you down below deck. The captain is in his usual spot at the rear table, surrounded by bookshelves. He greets you, but doesn't stand. He waves to the quartermaster to go get the payment, and gestures for you all to sort of stand in line and report. I understand you ran into trouble.
Always.
That we didn't handle.
It was not unexpected, but that's also why I requested your team.
As you can see, we are all here. Passenger is somewhere.
Yes.
I believe she's resting at the church.
Yes, they were, out of coffee, I'd imagine. Now, while the payment is getting gathered, I would like to put forth another personal request. Now, obviously, your contract is ended, so I can't order you to do anything, and don't worry, this isn't another delivery. Simply, I would request that you sign back on with the Endurance for the next voyage. It also came to my understanding that you made aware of the contents of the package and a bit of the gravity of the delivery itself.
That would not be inaccurate.
Moving forward, I feel it's going to be more important than ever to make sure there are crew members on board that trusted with sensitive work.
Not opposed to the idea. I would like to weigh my options, though, over the next week or so.
Of course. You have 2 weeks to weigh your option. Know that you have a personal invitation, I know. You all have any questions for me, or simply want your payment?
Are there any other potentially politically dangerous artifacts we'll be transporting?
Artifacts? Probably not. But I have made a bit of a career of not exactly being a smuggler, but of being a transporter of delicate information.
Sounds like a smuggler. Okay.
I don't transport contraband, I transport state secrets. Yes, I'm splitting hairs. For the next voyage, I believe that I'll be receiving one such parcel that will need transport back to the capital down in East Lorraine.
Suppose that would be the biggest question, is what's the direction of the ship?
Well, we tend to fly counterclockwise, downspin, or upspin. Downspin, yes. Against the spin of rotation.
It has never once made sense, so why start now?
Yeah. So, from here we'll be heading out over the Camport Expanse, sailing over the continent of Croania, making a couple of deliveries there, and then making our way back to East Lorraine. So, continuing the full circle. So, if you're looking to see the ring, this is a great way of continuing.
Sid just smiles, and the captain knows that he's got Sid, even though Sid hasn't officially agreed.
Well, I think, as we said, got a couple weeks to think about it. I'm not going to commit into anything yet. Because I'll be honest, all this political intrigue had me a bit,
Oh, you love it.
worried for my freedom, so to speak.
Oh,
Worried for your freedom?
droid.
Well, statecraft usually ends in treason, assassinations, or some sort of war. If things go too awry, and typically the people involved with perpetrating these sorts of acts are in the crossfires.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't transport those kind.
Well, to be fair, it seemed like we were just recently embroiled in a potential catalyst for war, and what we were bringing to the church, who the infected parties were involved. So I suppose it was unintentional that the stakes were so high.
Yes, usually transporting the blade is a lot smoother. Usually goes a lot faster, but since the last Skarnir decided to die in a shipwreck, it took a little longer.
Well, these are not usual times. I think we cannot expect the usual.
Yes. That is a very appropriate way of putting it. But I can't lie to you and say that there would be no danger involved. The world is becoming a hazardous place, and I feel like no matter what we transport, we could run afoul of any number of. So, if it makes you feel better, I do plan on throwing in a larger hazard pay bonus voyage. But, as Mr. Marston has stated, you have a few weeks to decide. So,
I
accept
won't
the
lie,
payment.
that definitely sweetens the perspectives.
Of course. I will always make sure my crew is treated properly. On that note, he gestures behind you, and you hear footsteps of the quartermaster returning with a few more pouches of coin for the completed job bonus. Now, Piranesi gave you the money for the main delivery. This is a bonus from us as thanks. Inside is going to be an extra 20 gold per person.
Always a pleasant sound.
So, enjoy your 2 weeks off. Ember Shard has a lot to offer, no matter what you're looking for. Especially with all the military parades they seem to be throwing these days.
Well, if this is farewell, it's been a trip.
I will certainly hope it's not, but if so, they've traveled.
And with that, I should probably look at getting going.
Oh yeah, about 1:30 right now.
Like I said, I'm sorry that I got to cut and run, guys, but
It happens.
All good. Life happens.
life finds a way.
We can continue though. This is mostly RP stuff of what people would like to do over their 2 weeks.
I mean, I definitely want to stop by Piranesi's opening.
Oh yeah, like we'll be doing like just a couple days and then cutting to the grand opening.
Like I said, the only thing I really want to do, Moose, is I want to put out a wanted ad that basically hints that I am a member of my crew, which we all have, you know, the Onyx and Appetite stone.
Yeah.
and so, you know, putting out like a wanted ad in each of the newspapers saying, "Come find me, here I am."
All
You
right.
know, it basically says that, you know, I'm a ship's navigator, and I've found a ring for some sort of coded message that, you know, but says that I am Elgavar, you know, of the ship that crashed. Is anybody out there?
All right.
Because he mentioned that there might be 1 or 2 people in this city.
Hmm.
So, just seeing who I can fish out.
All right.
But I'm
We
gonna let you guys
can-
go.
Yeah, we can carry that on next session when you're here.
Sounds good. Just giving you said, you know, what are you guys gonna be doing? So
Yeah.
wanted to give you that before I left. All right,
So
catch you later.
later.
Bye.
So, for the rest of you, side quest time if you feel so inclined. What would you like to do? What hijinks?
I don't know about you boys. I'm very curious about this cursed mountain range and what fuckity shit is going on there. Not only for my character's backstory, but because I hear cursed mountain range and I think treasure.
Is the Cursed Mountain Range like the ship? The crashed ship mountain range, or is this a completely different thing?
The crashed ship mountain range.
Okay. So it is what
Giant
Sorry, what
pseudo-
crashed ship?
at the end of
range?
the Star Wars campaign, the Yuzan Vong ship you all destroyed.
Ah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh no, Steven,
Oh
no!
yeah.
On
Oh
a
yeah.
On a different character, I was told never to go there, so I don't know what this.
that was a different character, fool.
So I'm in, damn it.
Get that confirmation bias out of here.
Igneous never got that warning, okay?
Yeah.
So he's in.
So that is the cursed mountain range.
You know what? My mentor had a good reason to go there, and or a stupid reason to go there.
Why not both?
I'm keen on finding out why. Yeah, personally, I'd like to use the downtime, this period of time before anything else, to do some research, learn more about Volrasmir.
All right. Lucky for you, the city of Imbershard has one of the largest universities on the ring. And it's even right near Piranesi's shop.
Great.
So you can go check out all the books you want.
And I will.
I'm gonna, well, we're still on the ship. I'm gonna pitch to these two, well, I technically have one more delivery to finish up my side contract. You two interested in helping me with that? I could, we make one more stop, collect one other little bit of a payday, and then I believe we're all free agents.
I'd be happy to help.
I don't see why not.
But you're buying the first round.
Seems fair. Head down below decks to collect my my final steamer trunk.
All right. It is sitting there waiting for you.
All right. You pick up that side. I'll lead the way. I kind of direct both of them to pick up the chest.
I think I can manage this for you.
All right, you can take it on your own. I just figured I know we're going, so no reason to be holding on to it as well.
Oh, I suppose whatever works for you. If it's something I can manage, I'll do it for you.
Yes,
Alright.
it's your delivery. Why should you carry it?
I believe you both said you'd help. I'm confused where the animosity is coming from.
I'm just chuckling to myself saying this, right? There's
Igneous,
nothing
if
to
you're
feel
looking to carry it on
Well-
your own, give me a strength check.
I also happen to have a fence that I'd like y'all to paint, if at all possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought fences was someone that took in goods. I don't know why are we painting them?
God, that seems like the reverse of what it should be. Him talking about a fence that you sell stolen goods to, and Igneous being like, "I thought you painted fences."
He's a crafty dwarf, you know. You never know what he knows.
Yeah. Wait, I'm confused. I
You
thought
know,
we were.
Like he
comes-
knows
he
he knows
goes
what
and
an
gets-
illegal goods fence is, but not what a yard fence is.
Yeah, we don't have yards in the valley, DM. Okay, it's free range.
But you know what we do
rife
have?
with crime
People,
and smuggling.
people who will launder
We have
your illicit
smugglers.
goods for you.
Yeah. What do you- Come on, what's so weird about this? I'm glad you guys are on board here. I don't know what's so weird about this. Okay,
I'll be right
need you
back.
to get on this level.
I'm sorry, is the valley New Mexico? Like, what is happening here?
No one knows for sure.
Fucking Albuquerque looking ass.
Some say.
All right, I'm back. Alex, give me a strength check.
Oh shit. Have to roll
Dost
dice.
thou even hoist?
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, I'm making you roll dice.
How
it's just
dare.
between my internet being a dipshit and all this stuff, I just kind of like forgot to bring my dice tower out from underneath my desk.
Yeah, it seems like this session was a bit cursed in multiple ways.
A little bit,
Strength check.
but we're making do, and also actually utilizing the smuggler background for you.
Yeah, I figured if there was ever going to be an opportunity to actually do something with that, this would be it.
It's side quest day.
Okay, a pure strength check. That's 22.
Nice. Yeah, you lift the trunk, no problem.
Yeah.
And then his spine explodes.
Like, you get it in a good spot. It's like you're not even holding anything. Like, you got the perfect grip. You feel like you could go for a nice long hike with this thing.
And I will, damn it.
And that's when your spine accordions.
All right. Marston, the directions that you have received are going to take you to sort of the seedier part of the town. Like, the areas within the walls are, for the most part, well maintained. And the suburbs outside of the walls are sort of where the lower quality citizenry reside. But this delivery in particular is taking you inside the wall, but the lowest of the upper class.
Makes sense. Just walk with confidence. Trick is always look like you belong. Where are you going?
Which one of you is carrying the ladder?
There was a ladder as well.
Because if you've got a ladder, you can go anywhere.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
It's a proven fact. If you're carrying a ladder, you can go anywhere.
All right. It's
You
it's
believe
just like
that was
it's
a-
just like the clipboard.
Yeah, it adds like a plus 12 to stealth.
It adds it's a plus 12 to belong.
I should actually stop talking because one of you is gonna get a ladder and use my own words against me.
Just care. Yeah, I was gonna say.
right.
Marston walks into every combat with a freaking ladder, and he's basically becomes invisible.
Like, oh yeah, no. Why wouldn't that guy be here?
Yeah, I mean, who would be walking around with a ladder?
He clearly belongs here, okay?
So yeah, you guys disembark, make your way back into the city proper, but go the opposite direction you had gone to get to the commercial district that you had been in prior. Now you're going to the right once you go in the main entrance and making way through a more narrow and claustrophobic part of the city with large rock walls looming over the buildings. You pass by a number of notable locations, including a coliseum, a few breweries. Then you get into the residential areas. And you're brought to one... the neighborhood you're in looks run down, like it hasn't seen maintenance in quite some time. And it's at the foot of a cliff, the top of which is a towering military fort that's just leaving the entire area perpetually in shadow. And
is that our final destination, or just somewhere we're walking by?
Your final destination. You notice one of the buildings in particular has the address that you were looking for.
All right, place. Kind of scoping it out. Does it look like? Is this like a what kind of building is this? Is this like a business, like a manor?
It looks like a manor of sorts. The row of buildings are fairly uniform, all very similar appearances. But this one, the curtains are drawn, the windows are shuttered, and the door is a heavy wood. Compared to the other buildings you've seen, it looks very uninviting. And that's saying a lot in a very gentrified city where everything is old, everything is stone, everything is cold. But this looks uninviting.
Does it look like there would be like a servant's entrance or like any sort of like side entrance that would be like clearly delineated, so we're not just like walking up to the front door, basically?
Roll me insight.
Woohoo! That tipped perfectly. Nat 20 for a 24.
Nice. Yeah, you've been in this city before in your travels. And you know that these style of buildings, there's going to be a connecting alley in back with the help entrance.
All right. Direct my crew to head over that way.
You make your way down the row a bit, find the connecting alley, and make your way around to the back. This area feels almost like a cave. Like the cliff that's leaning out over the street with the board on top almost connects with the buildings built below it. Pardon? With the buildings built below it to form almost like a cave. It feels damp and cold.
That seem like, kind of just glancing around, does it seem like an intentional design or just a consequence of the area?
Consequence of the area.
Okay.
They utilized every bit of space, and that meant some of the buildings, even if they're built nice, are going to be in less than desirable spots.
All right. Well, look for the kind of the door. If there's any, I don't know, butler, guard, someone posted out here.
You
Get their
find the
attention.
corresponding rear door. Nobody's posted outside, though.
Do I have like a contact name or like any information about how I'm supposed to be making the delivery, or just this is the location?
The instructions for this one, it's you are to knock 3 times and request an audience with Melvin.
Just give it, 3 firm knocks.
A slot on the door slides open, and you see some eyes look out.
Deliver for Melvin.
He squints at you and looks over your companions. Slot slides shut. You hear heavy bolts unlocking. The door swings open with a creak, and you're greeted by a rough-looking, middle-aged man who just nods for you to follow him inside.
Do so. Wave the boys forward.
Inside is very dingy. There's a couple of light sources, but none in the hallways. Just some residual light coming out of some of the rooms as the guy leads you through the dim environment. Peeking in the rooms, you can see sort of seedy-looking individuals. The guy that let you in takes you to a flight of stairs, points up and says, "It'll be the door at the end of the hall."
Much obliged.
Eh.
Proceed forward, and I say, well, we're getting pretty close to that first call.
Igneous, I want you to roll me a dexterity save.
Okay, is this... is this one that I would get advantage on? Is it, I can see? Dex
Yeah.
effect I can see.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can see.
Okay. Dice. Those are both pretty shit. Dex save 9.
Ooh. As you're walking up, a stair creaks and buckles under you as the wood splits between the weight of you, your stuff, and trunk, all concentrated on a single spot. and you tumble backwards. Kimbrin, roll me a dexterity save.
Beans. Okay. Is my best save 18.
18. Do you want to try to catch Igneous or just get out of the way of Igneous?
I would love to say that I'm just gonna let him fall, but I will help him as best I
Alright.
can.
In that case, give me a strength save at advantage.
It's bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, this may have been a mistake. We're gonna try anyway. Hey, you know what? If we, like, fall or some shit, at least I have slow fall. Alright, well, those were both shit. So...
It's too
a
late to fire
9.
both these guys.
Hey, you took us to a place with stairs that are not up to code. That's
Yeah, I'm
not
trying
on
to get a
us.
workman's comp.
Okay.
This is a workman's comp scenario,
Like,
okay?
So what was the order here? Was it like me, Igneous, Kimbrin?
Way I
Yeah,
was
I
sort
think
of
so.
figuring it like you leading,
Okay.
Trunk in the middle, and then Kimron in the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I would probably have no leg in this
You know what? If you want,
attempt here.
roll me a acrobatics check at disadvantage.
I'll take it. What do we think? Third 9? All three of us get a 9?
Can only go well.
Have it.
It's 14.
14.
My tail managed to maybe reach out, snag the chest.
You hear the snap of the wooden stair turn in time
Aw,
to see
hell.
Igneous beginning
Upset the
to
slow-mo.
tumble. And your tail reaches out, grabs one of the handles, and gives
Maybe that just gives Kimbrin advantage.
enough purchase for Igneous to not completely fall, but tumbles backwards into Kimbrin, and they both stumble a bit on the stairs, but don't fall down the stairs.
Hey, I'll take it.
It's far from graceful, and the guy that let you in is sort of sneering, but you weren't crushed by a trunk, and you didn't damage anything.
Really should fix this
Yo.
step.
I was gonna say this place doesn't look up to code. I think they, yeah. Maybe
It's
put, like, a
lasted
sign
just
or
fine
something.
until you all came in.
Likely story. Well, I suppose no harm, no foul. Everything worked out.
Aside from the fact that I now need to replace a stair that you both broke.
It's a good thing I found that problem before, you just fell right through. You're welcome.
Boss is at the door at the end of the hall.
Keep walking. And we're walking. We're walking.
We're walking.
At the end of the hall is the nicest looking door you've seen in this place, but it is closed.
Give three knocks.
From the other side, who is it?
Delivery for Melvin.
The door swings open, but you don't see who opened it. Inside is a office. some bookshelves, fireplace, and a desk with a man sitting behind it. He waves you inside.
Proceed. Any particular place you'd like this set down?
Over there in the corner.
Hold the door open.
Bring it in.
I will watch.
This guy's a pervert.
Yep. All the information you need.
The man opens a drawer, pulls out a coin purse, begins to count some coins. Now, since it's late on delivery, I'm going to be reducing the amount I'm paying. He slides 5 gold forward.
I accept the gold and I say, fair enough.
And
We were held up in what was that port town with the Dwarven Festival?
Port Aurum.
Okay, Port Aurum. We were held up in Port Aurum for definitely longer than expected.
Yes. I've heard of the dwarves putting an embargo. Nice.
Thankfully, everything was delivered according, and final stop, final goods. Everything worked out.
It has. He gestures towards the door.
I'll leave you to it. Good day, sir.
So when dozens and dozens of ships are held up and transport, everybody just gets to decide to short their delivery?
Yes.
That
Especially
doesn't seem like...
when you're utilizing a specialized delivery method like I am. I require promptness, and I was insured promptness. The assurance fell through. I pay for what I get.
I just kind of put both my hands on Igneous and Kimran's shoulders, and I'm like, as said, perfectly understood. I just kind of like hurry them out the door.
The man goes back to working, and the door closes behind you.
I'm just saying we could have got your full pay. I'm pretty sure we could have got it.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't even sure there was going to be a payment, so I'm gonna take it. I'm more of an intermediate in this situation, so we're calling this all good.
If you say so.
Well, if we need to come back here to shake them down for your full payment, watch that step. This is a trap of a place. This
In
place
that
is
case, I
not
will...
up to code.
Hey, you said
Not
first
yet.
drinks on you, and we have more than enough payment right here. I flipped that gold coin. Actually, no, you said it was 5 gold. So yeah, I kind of do like a little like, you know, coin in the finger trick where it's the 1, but then like when it gets to the end, I kind of fan my whole hand out, and there's 5 coins between my
Nice.
fingers.
Okay, saving that. Enemy. Don't need it right now, but might in the future.
Wait, you thought I was gonna start a fight?
Yes.
You know, for a second there, you weren't wrong.
Just saying, I prepared as much as I could prepare in the 5 minutes that I
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, when you said "be right back," I was like, I'm almost positive he's like cooking up an encounter just in case. I'm not sure if that's what you did during that "be right back."
Low
But
key, I was going to get a Coke, and all the while I was like, okay, I need to make this at least somewhat interesting, depending on how it goes.
hey, I'm fine with how it went.
Hands on the shoulder really
the-
help steer that away from a punch in the face.
Yeah, the whole thing, like with Marston, the thing is like he's kind of embroiled in like shit way above what he's doing. So like
Mm.
it's sort of a, if you knew who I was working for and like the types of people I was working with, like you don't fuck with those people. So like the fact that Igneous just like right off the bat's like, "Hey, bucko," I was like,
You know the best part?
I was like,
Igneous
no.
does not. That's the best part. Igneous does not know who you're embroiled with, so he's like, "Well, I feel
Igneous.
like a job well done is a job well done, sir. I feel
Right.
like full payment is
Yeah.
necessary."
Igneous talking to a crime boss who could have him killed with a snap of his fingers. Listen here, fuckweasel.
Oh, he
was,
could try.
As soon as you said that, I was literally like screaming internally.
Ruh-roh.
So yeah, I'd say it all worked out as long as we make it out of here and make it to a bar. Or actually,
Indeed.
why go to a bar? We can go to the Wayward Inn.
The
Dwarf is
Wayfarer.
trying to Karen
Or
his way to
Wayfinder.
full
Yeah.
payment.
Wayfarer.
Yep.
Wayfarer. Pathfinder.
Yeah. The Waif Hair Inn. I don't know why they named it that. After
waif
somebody's
and the
hair.
hair.
It's very interesting.
The Weasel Inn.
Wait, is it the waif and the hair or the waif's hair?
It's the
the-
waif's hair. I know, it's very weird. Steven chose a terrible name.
I believe the colloquial term is the Skidley Winker.
Mm. The Wafer Thin Inn.
The Nilla Wafer Inn.
The Wafer Inn.
Definitely not Oreo in.
God damn it.
The Fig Newton.
Bitch, alright.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Oh man.
Start a business one day. The
Well,
Big
The
Newt.
Fig Newton. And it's just a picture of a fig next to a picture of a newt.
Just both
Yeah.
under a roof.
That's what all this
Yeah.
meant, right?
The Fig Newton.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's a witch's hut, is all that is. A Fig Newt Inn.
Yeah, yeah. Brewing up some potions in there.
Oh my god.
Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble.
I
Yep.
think it's this point where Steven's gonna be like, I'm gonna end the session out of mercy.
You got the A team here, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, man. This is the brains of the operation.
Well, as
The
you guys are
sorcerer
walking
and the
making your
artificer aren't
way
here.
back towards the Wayfarer, you pass a couple other taverns, giving you some options. The Wayfarer is definitely a good one, but there are plenty of places to partake in the city.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, like, we can potentially visit the Wayfarer pretty readily. Let's actually sample some local wares.
Bar fight, bar fight, bar fight. Anybody else? Steven, pull out that enemy sheet.
You walk into the bar and the crime boss is there.
Ah,
Son of a
how'd you
bitch.
get here before us?
Actually, I do have a reason I could throw in for that. But, anyway, you're passing by one spot. It's, as you're crossing the large main road that leads between the main gate and the castle gate, there is a nice looking tavern right on the corner of one of the streets, called the Sword and the Stein.
No. Why are you like this?
What do you do?
Like, oddly, I specifically said the Sword and the Stein, and it wasn't until I said it that I realized it was a play on Sword and the Stone. So,
Yep.
that was entirely incidental.
Sure it was.
So yes, the Sword and the Stein. There is a sign hanging out front of it of a depicting a large beer stein dangling from a sword that is hooked through the handle.
Oh,
Looks good to me.
Stepping inside, you notice it is a very big cavern with a large main floor and then stairs going up to a second level. It's lively in there, even with the time of day, as it's, I suppose it's getting on in the evening. So a lot of people have gotten off work. There's a lot of off-duty soldiers in here, and a pretty good crowd for the night. There's even a small group of bards playing near one of the entertainment sides.
But is it the small group of bards?
No, it is not the New Fables.
I asked about them. I've asked about them so many times just for fun.
I'm happy they left an impression, but no, they are not here right now.
they've gone to start a grocery store. New Fables Market.
Upon entering, a serving girl greets you and gestures you towards the bar to get some drinks, or if you want, there's some tables available up on the second floor.
Second floor, right?
Yeah.
Table with a view?
Sounds good.
Making your way upstairs, it's a large, spacious area. Vaulted ceiling, exposed rafters, some lights hanging down from them, as well as some decorations. And the area is filled with just some tables that you can sit at and a hearth off to the side. The view is nice. It's of the rest of the tavern, and there's a window. Since it's on the corner of the street, there's windows on 2 different walls that you can look out and see a nice view. There is a open table off to the side near one of the walls.
Snag it.
Shortly after, you take a seat. One of the servers comes up and greets you. Well, welcome to the Wayfair. Not, God damn it. Welcome to the Sword and the Stein. Brain's still on that. Welcome to the Sword and the Stein.
Freudian slip.
Yes. Can I start you off with anything today?
Oh,
Well-
what's the specials?
Drink specials are, we've got, brand new, beer in, a few kegs of it, very select, from a, brewmaster out in the plains of Rowania. Nice nutty notes to it. Food-wise, we have, some pasta dishes made with locally grown rice.
What do you guys think? Try some specials or
I'd love some pasta. Don't get that too much out on the road or even in certain locations.
Of course.
I'll take that and what do you two think? We get a bottle? Got any sort of preference?
Well, if you are somewhat partial to sweeter wines, we have a bottle from off near the coast. The grapes grow in almost exclusively cold climates, and it's called snow wine, or ice wine by some, where frost forms every once in a while on the grapes, and it brings out a lot of the sugars.
It sounds quite sweet. I don't know about you fellas. I'm not in for too sweet of a time.
I don't know. We could just go with a middle shelf whiskey.
Certainly.
Sounds perfect.
I'll get that in right away for you. She departs. A little while later, she comes back with the drinks and the food, sets it down, and leaves you be. Downstairs, getting a little noisier as more people are beginning to file in. And a table next to you, you see is now occupied by a group of off-duty soldiers who are laughing and reveling.
How annoying is their laughing and reveling?
I mean, I wouldn't really call it, like, annoying laugh, like, you know, a lot of deep belly laughs. So if you're looking for a quiet meal, it'd probably be annoying. But the place
Cool.
as a whole is fairly, you know, consistent level of noise pollution.
Fair.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, a 6.
That's right.
Gonna make small talk, keep an eye out, or ear out, see if maybe pick up any worthwhile gossip, or anything like that.
Roll me, everybody can if you feel so inclined, perception.
$19.
Ooh, that's awful.
11.
3.
3.
Rolled a 2.
The Kimbrin, you're able to pick up some of the chatter from the table over. They're discussing the fact that the Drake Knights that you had seen flying overhead a day prior just received some deployment orders to go deal with another raider outpost that had formed out on the coast.
Interesting.
And supposedly that because of it, the Duchess's daughter, Lady Leonora, is going to be leading the company for the deployment.
That's cool. I don't have a ton of context for who any of these people are or what that means, but
It was brought up when they flew overhead. Lady Leonora Armbrust is the daughter of the Duchess and distant cousin to Passenger.
ah,
So that's the most like near home context, but then also that I'll go yeah. The way they're describing the Raiders, it sounds like it's just a settlement.
yeah, not like a massive bandit encampment or something.
Yeah. So, whether it's a warranted military deployment or not is debatable.
Sure. It's not great. Oh, I'll
Otherwise-
quietly share what I heard with the table. But other than that, I guess I don't have a whole lot to discuss on the matter.
Yeah, just kind of a note to maybe let Passenger know the gossip if they're not here with us right now.
Yeah.
It's what you're picking up from a group of off-duty soldiers.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise, well, what do you all think? I don't really have many plans here. Don't know if I'll just kind of wander off into the distance or pick up another job. You thinking about sticking along with the crew?
Well, for as long as my mission takes me in that direction, I suppose.
They still heading your way?
I think
Yes.
so.
You
was
would
really
know that
hoping-
the ship's path on the next deployment would be taking you past Vilrosmir.
Yeah. I'm
Is
following
in-
the same pilgrimage as my master and deviating where he did. Trying to find out what it was he was looking for that carried him away from the path. If he was after it, he had a good reason. But until I can find out what that reason is, he has been denied all remembrance as far as my order is concerned.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping for that payout with that puzzle box, but seems I'm gonna need to learn how to touch a sun if I want to get this open the rest of the way.
Well, it seems like Sid might have some ideas in that arena.
Well, I
He-
guess that means I might have to stick along because I'm pretty sure he's not planning to leave.
Indeed. He talks like a man who has touched the sun.
Or at least a son.
Exactly. All things considered is a stranger thing of it. what the other son might get fetched. Yeah, I think it's at this point that we're just gonna gossip about the rest of our party members, right?
Yeah. Just,
Good.
Absolutely.
touch base, wax poetic. Seems like Kimbryn's probably planning to stick along. I don't know what passengers' leanings would be. Probably, as that would get them back away from the immediate sphere of influence of their family, but we'll see.
I was gonna say I feel like they want to be as far away from here as possible.
Yeah. The night carries on much like this. The server brings you your tab for the bottle of whiskey, and the meals comes out to about 7 gold.
Okey doke. Failed to remove coins. What?
Get an error message.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and now you've guys got several days. The city is also very pretty well stocked, so good place for shopping, going out buying items, and a lot of things you can use to complete various side goals, such as Kimbryn wanting to do some research. Ed, we've been going for about 2 hours now, so if you guys wanted, we could call it here. Got some good stuff done, took care of a side quest.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
without
don't
the
want to
others, it
progress
might
too
be-
far without the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since this one, this session, like especially with the aftermath of the last session, definitely felt like a one that's unfortunate Amanda wasn't able to be here for.
Hmm.
Since I'm
Feels like
guessing-
this might be like a launching off point for the next portion, unless
and
next session is like all interlude again. But you know,
Yeah, I guess what are your like? Are we gonna have like a couple weeks of interim adventures, or what was your plan for like the
Up to
upcoming
you.
leg here?
We could very easily just, hand wave. A couple weeks have passed, beards have grown out slightly, and then just sign back on with the ship. Or if you guys wanted to do a bit more stuff in town, can definitely do that.
maybe throw in the chat after we're done, like, hey, unless there's any like very specific things that you guys want to do in the next like 14 days, just like what are your downtime activities, maybe?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
because essentially,
Stan said he wanted to check out the shop.
yeah, because yeah, basically a lot of the downtime stuff could be just not done in character.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
and not
so,
take
like,
up session time. Yeah.
Yeah, unless there was like stuff you were planning to happen like in the 2 weeks, that's basically just 2 weeks time for us to maybe brush up on a language, maybe give you a list of downtime activities we might have been fucking around with, or
Hmm.
try to make some money. I mean, there's rules for that if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It doesn't come
There
up too often depending on the campaign, but
Yeah.
like we could, if the vote is essentially everyone's planning to sign back up with the ship and ride out of here, like a fast forward would be I'd say the thing that makes the most sense. If any character is jumping off and maybe rotating in with someone new, I don't think anyone's planning to do that. At least it doesn't sound like it. The only one I could think might would be Passenger, but like, I also don't think that's likely.
Like, I feel
So-
like Amanda's character has some pretty good hooks in the
Oh yeah, that's
into
that. But
some
I'm like,
story.
just from the perspective of like they might have better shit to do, or like now
Yeah.
that they know what's going on, they might want to be more like directly involved with like unfolding events and the Skarnir. But I suppose at the same time, their mission is to find the Skarnir. So if we've now basically torpedoed or potentially torpedoed the only current candidate, like they've still got a job to do. So
Yeah,
from that perspective, you know, wandering around and adventuring would probably be the best bet. Still, so my guess is everyone's planning to stay on. I've like in character, I think I've been the most hemming and hawing about it.
I hemmed and hawed so much I actually switched characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, like because it's just, you know, it's from like a from like a completely sort of like in character self-preservation perspective, like getting involved in like major political machinations is as Marston put it, you know, usually gets you killed or arrested more often than not. You know, and so, you know, it's kind of like does he really have the kind of stake in what's going on that everyone else does, and whether or not he'd be willing to stick around for, I guess it's just the potential payday money, maybe if Sidwell's ever able to open the puzzle box, you know. So and then I guess if anyone does leave, it would be a perfect thing for like the next session to be like a finding and then introducing like a new character. I think,
Yeah.
as an alternative to fast forwarding, if anyone did plan to not sign back up, basically closing out of a current character arc, farewell, and then finding and hooking up with a new character. But yeah, other than that possibility, I think the fast forward is probably the most likely.
Yeah.
What if our session one was actually just Steven TPK'd secretly his own little party he was running before, and we were just the new crew? This is bonkers.
What do you mean?
Steven, I don't know, I'm just bullshitting something. Because at this point, you know, it's a new sign-on, right? Like, so if anybody brings in a new character, it's like, oh, a new crewmate signing on. We all signed on as new crew in session one.
Yeah.
Secretly, Steven was running a different campaign and TPK'd everybody. He needed new crew.
Gotcha. So he was just with a bunch of other friends that we've never heard of or known about.
Oh, or he was just running, you know, a little NPC side game, and he was like, you know what, I'll bring these guys in on this. I think I've developed.
I think that's more likely.
Boom.
I mean, the idea of Steven having other friends is a little far-fetched.
I mean, it's offensive. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm offended for the possibility.
Yeah, you don't need other people, Steven. You have us.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll hopefully what's happening in 2 weeks? Is that next weekend or next like Monday is Memorial Day, right? So like
yeah, the 29th.
so like so yeah, next session should be a nothing happening weekend then.
Yeah.
Yeah, next weekend I'm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
What the fuck?
June 4th
Nice.
is the next session. Thankfully, is the Sunday where I'm not in Delaware.
Huzzah.
Nice.
On the 18th and the 2nd. I'm assuming the 2nd shouldn't interfere either, since it's like, the Sunday before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I'm guessing no one's really doing anything. Then.
Cameron, the 18th of June is Father's Day. Are you going to be out for that?
I doubt it. I don't think I don't think I'm going out of town or anything, so
All right.
I'll probably just it's gonna be one of those I'm gonna Zoom call my dad on the
Gotcha.
day. I'm not gonna have anything.
Well, that definitely doesn't affect me anymore.
Hasn't affected me for 31 years. God damn it. Woo!
Jesus.
Sorry, 32.
Woo!
Hasn't bothered me. Hasn't bugged me since conception, baby. What's up?
Anyway.
And then he walked
That's a
away.
lot.
I mean, I
Weird
think you
note to
taught me.
end
I was
on,
like,
but-
well, I don't need to worry about it because my dad just died. And then you're like, I never knew my father.
You know, it would be too real if we had half a party with daddy issues, so that's why we
Like-
don't do that in game.
I was very purposeful when I said, Cameron, are you doing anything for Father's Day?
Well, too
Yeah.
bad. You had to
Yeah,
bring up
you
my
left it
dad's dad.
open-ended, sucker.
and-
Did I? I very
I mean, I think you didn't, but we
I
took
very
the opening
specifically
Yeah, you
left
guys
you
are both just
guys
like,
out of
What kind of piece of shit has a dad?
anyway. You
What
were
are-
like, all right,
what
I'm
are
gonna
those
make
all
sure the
about?
door is closed, and I'm gonna be like, hey, Cameron, you got a question for you. Igneous knocked down the door.
Strong male role model. What's that like?
Anyway, I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Later, y'all.
This is good. This is good times. This is good
Why
times.
end on a normal note when we can end on a
Yeah.
weird note?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it wouldn't be a normal session if we didn't just fuck it up at the end.